Again, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you all coming out, showing support, and being eager to learn more about social media. Obviously, social media is a big thing, and I first started really implementing social media and digital marketing through my media company, MG3 Media, which I have my photographer, Shui, here. He's doing all the listing photos and videos now, so we'll dive right into it. Let's just go. Boom. So the main things that we'll talk about during this presentation, we'll start off with a strong foundation and what we need to be successful on social media. Diving into the content strategies and all the fun stuff is great, but if we don't have a strong foundation to build upon, it doesn't mean anything. And the purpose for building on social media is we need to build a brand and a reputation. And social media is the best way to do that right now. As Ruben said, people are spending 4 to 6 hours a day on social media. So what better way to get in front of them than going where they're at already? We're going to talk about what you should be posting and how often we should be posting it, and how to effectively communicate to your target audience. That's one of the biggest things with social media is everybody just wants to speak to everybody. But we need to figure out who our niche is so that we can effectively communicate to that niche over and over again. Then we'll talk about how we can track our progress so that we know where we're at right now and where we want to be. Because the only way to achieve your goals is to measure where you're at and measure how you're growing, right? If we're doing certain content that's not working, we need to know that so that we can adapt and change as we move. So let's talk about our foundation. The main platforms that we need to be focused on, and this is going to depend on obviously your niche and who you want to be working with. But we have Facebook, obviously, which most of you are already on, Instagram, Google, which is great for SEO and search optimization. We'll also talk about kind of how you should be posting on Google more than we already are, but that'll probably be its own presentation in itself just because of how in-depth we can get with that. TikTok, if you're targeting younger buyers and sellers, YouTube, and then also LinkedIn as well. So how should your page look? If you want, you can feel free to pull out your page right now and kind of see where you're at, but we should all have a professional photo of ourselves, whether that's your headshot or some type of lifestyle photo that you have, but we want to look professional right from the beginning. We should already have our profiles be public as well. If your profile is private, whether it's you don't want to show certain posts you have because it's a personal account, we want to make maybe a separate account that's public for people to find you on. Because you're private, you're going to be the undercover agent, and nobody wants to be the undercover agent. We want to be everywhere. Our bio, we want to have 1 to 3 words describing who you are other than a real estate agent, right? So if you own a restaurant, you could say owner of Delia's. If you are a mother with children, put that in your bio, right? We want to have something that people can connect with you on other than just a professional level. And then obviously we want to know what business you're in. If you're in mortgages, say that you're in mortgage. If you're an agent, make sure everybody knows that you're a real estate agent and where you're a real estate agent at, right? If people are DMing you, asking you to help show houses in Atlanta, it's probably because they don't know you're here in California, right? Obviously you can connect them with people in Atlanta, and build your business that way. But we want to make sure they know that if they want to see a house in LA, you're the person to call for that. If they want to see a house in downtown Riverside, they know you're right there. And then on Instagram specifically, you might see a little highlights section. We want to make sure we're utilizing that to the best of our ability if we are going to utilize it. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's necessary, but if we're going to do it, we don't want it to be distracting from the rest of our page. So if you want to have all of your just listed things in your highlights, we could have that. Maybe 1 or 2 personal things like your family posts and things like that. But let's make sure we're using them with a purpose behind it. Let's talk strategy. I know when someone RSVP'd, they mentioned they want to know what the algorithm is and kind of how to best utilize that. So basically, what the algorithm is, it's what kind of content is going to be promoted and shown to people. Right? And right now, the best kind of content that is being promoted through the algorithm is video, specifically vertical video. And with vertical video, specifically on Instagram and Facebook, is people are always asking what kind of audio or music they should be using, right? Do they need to use the trending sound? How loud should the sound be? And certain trends will call for using an audio. So if you're going to do a specific style of video that is trending, is very popular, you'll want to integrate that. But for the most part, original audio and original sound is what they're promoting, because if you're just doing what's trending, you're going to fall into the same category as everybody else, and we don't want that. We want to be consistent, and we want to be our own brand. We don't want to just follow the crowd, right? That's the only way we can stick out. And then when we are posting photos, we want to make sure we post more than one photo. And these are called carousels, you might see people call them. But the reason being, if you post one photo and someone scrolls and they scroll right past it, they're never going to see that post again. But if you post 2 photos on Instagram, they'll see your first post, maybe scroll past it. The next time they open that app, when they're scrolling, it'll show that second photo that you've posted with that already. So it's just another way to get in front of your audience and make sure that you're being in front of them as much as possible, showing up on their feed as much as possible. The biggest thing about the algorithm that's going to make your certain posts get promoted more than others is how shareable it is. So if you make a post that is very entertaining and funny, you might see that perform well because people are going to send that to their friends to be like, hey, look at this funny video I did. And the algorithm sees, okay, this person is creating content that is shareable and people are getting value from it. Let's promote more of their posts and things like that. Some other engagement you might see are likes, comments, bookmarks. All of those things are going to be important to boosting your post, but making it want to be shared to other people is going to be key. But the biggest thing is don't rely on the algorithm. Don't kind of get discouraged if you feel like you did everything right in a post, but you get 100 views on it. Sometimes you're going to swing and miss, but it's a numbers game. I'll post one thing that it took me 5 minutes to make and I'll get 1,000 views on it. And then another one that I spent hours on and I get 100 views. But it's all about the messaging. So maybe the video idea was a good idea, but you need a different hook in the beginning to draw people in the first place. If the average time on your post is 1 second, the algorithm is not going to promote it. But if you hook them in the beginning to draw them in for the rest of your content, that's what's going to make people want to stay on your page more. They'll visit your profile. They'll learn more about you. So let's talk aspect ratios. So this video on the left is going to be kind of what I'm referring to when I say the vertical videos for Instagram and Facebook. This also works for YouTube Shorts now. All the social media platforms are starting to adopt that 9:16 aspect ratio. 4:5, which is the photo in the middle, that's going to be kind of the size you want all your photos to be. It's going to take up the best amount of space on these social media platforms. And then 16:9, that's going to be for your longer videos on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, things like that. We want to kind of avoid those on Instagram a little bit. Obviously, you have a listing video. You can post that. But the ones that are going to be promoted the most are going to be the vertical style ones. So talking about vertical style videos, these are going to be called Reels or Shorts is what I'll refer them as. But the kind of content that we promote or that we post with these is going to be very important. There's a million different topics that you can do, but the ones that I've noticed do the most are any educational videos or tips, because we want to provide value to the people watching it. If they're only coming to us and we're only saying, don't forget I'm this, don't forget I do real estate here, like this, it's not valuable to them. So if we can give them some type of information that they don't already know in an engaging way, that's going to be huge. Make sure it's entertaining. So for this particular video, this is us announcing the Next Level Innovators video. And it was entertaining in a way that we did a little skit in the beginning where we reenacted, what was the movie called that we reenacted?
Gary Ross.
Yes. Yeah, Glenn Gary Ross, right? Yeah. So we redid the Coffees for Closers scene in the beginning to draw people in, and then we made the announcement for the event. So anytime you can combine the two, that's going to be huge as well. And then any interviews or testimonials with your past clients, that's going to be huge, because if other people can see success stories, that's going to draw them in, and that's going to build your credibility over time. Guided property tours. As I said, you can post your full listing video on social media as well, but if you can get a vertical style video and post that as a reel, that's going to perform much better. And then the great thing about these is you can do these when you have buyers and you are going to show a property. You can just pull your phone out, show parts of it, clip it together pretty easily. One of the most popular ones that I've seen people do are new constructions because they're already staged, they look great, you know it's going to show well on video. So that's huge. And then if you do a just sold celebration, so if your buyer just bought this new house, it looks great, bring a bottle of champagne, record them popping it in front yard and stuff like that. Again, success stories are what's going to build your credibility. And then going around to local businesses and highlighting them, go to a coffee shop in downtown and be like, you guys have to check out this coffee shop. Not only is that going to show you're a professional in that specific area, but it's going to relate to other people who go there and love that place. And then you're going to have something to build rapport on. That should be in your target audience as well. If your target audience is Beverly Hills, you're not going to want to post local highlights of San Bernardino. You're going to want to go out there. Even if you don't know anything about the area, learn about it. That's going to be the best way that you can be a professional in the field, is don't act, actually be it. Photos. We got a photo of my man Christian up here. We do some portrait lifestyle stuff, and this is great because it shows you in a more professional setting, whether you can get these at a property listing that you have. Talk to some new construction developers, see if you can get photos there. Most of them are pretty okay with it because you can approach it in a way that you're going to promote those new constructions and bring them buyers. So anytime you can collaborate with properties or businesses to help you get photos done, that's going to be big. Target communities, again, the same places you're doing those videos, get some professional photos done over there. Rent a studio out, get a studio photographer to get some studio photos of you. But we also want to mix in some of our everyday life as well, because if we just promote business, realtor this, people are going to tune out, they're going to get used to it. So if you mix in some real life aspects of your life, if you go to the beach, post photos of you and your family at the beach. If you have Christmas photos done, post your Christmas photos, but we want to make sure we're mixing in a little bit of being relatable to our professional posts. And then long form video for YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Best ones that I would post are property tours. We're working on potentially getting some higher end listings to see if we can get our agents to do some property tours of those. But even on your own, if you want to cold call a listing agent with $1 million property and say, hey, I want to promote this for you. I want to see if I can attract any buyers for you. I'll make sure that I thank you as a listing agent in the video. Make sure you approach it in a way that you're adding value to them. That's how they're going to be okay with you going, okay, go ahead. I'm sure they'll want to be there. But tour the property, post it on YouTube. Worst case scenario, you got some great content out of it. Best case scenario, you have a buyer for $1 million listing. Any events we do, right? We're filming this event right here, but that works for LinkedIn and Facebook as well. And then bio persona videos, like I mentioned earlier with Ruben, you guys are entitled to that as EGA agents. So we need to make a video talking about who you are and your background and what separates you from the average real estate agent out there. And then also persona videos or niche videos are going to be targeted towards your demographic. So if you can make a video saying, first-time home buyers, congratulations on taking this step forward on your path to home ownership. I specialize in this, and there's nothing better than seeing homeowners get their keys for the first time. So if you have any questions along this process, please let me know. Just videos like that relate to specific people is going to go a long way, because not only are you posting that out for the world to come across and see, but you can send that link to any of those buyers that you come across or those sellers that you come across and have them ready to go. Another thing that you can do with videos like that are frequently asked questions that you get all the time. So if there's questions that you get from probates all the time, put those in a video and upload them so anybody in the public can obviously view that, but then you can get that link and send it to any probate sellers that you have so that they have their questions answered ahead of time. One of the things we talked about in the Next Level Innovators group is we want to be proactive realtors and not reactive realtors. When we're reactive, we're stressed, we're on our heels, we're trying to figure out all these questions, trying to guide people through the same thing over and over again. Where when we're proactive, we're ahead of the game. They see us as professionals, prepared, and ready to give them the value that they deserve. And then if you want to mix it up a little bit, do a little vlog day in the life video. That could be great for obviously just showing people what a real life like of the real everyday life of a realtor is like. Obviously, there's a lot of misconceptions of realtors and like how you just show homes and it's easy, you make a commission check. But
We're trying to get more people in the EGA.
no, but being
The general public.
being open and showing what your everyday life is like will show people kind of the work that you put in for your clients. And then also, it'll help, like you said, bring in agents to EGA and be like, this is the kind of culture that we facilitate here. And then we also have a refer and earn program, which if you want to learn more about that, just let me know. But you would get, there's incentives for being able to provide value to other agents. And then written word, for those of you that are like, I don't care what you say up there, I'm not doing video. I'm not posting photos of myself, like it's not for me. Written word, there's still a place for that out there on Facebook and LinkedIn and things like that. Man, I need to sneeze, I'm sorry. So the same topics that we're making videos on, you can make those same posts with written word. Facebook and LinkedIn are the best places to post those, obviously. Any important industry trends and updates, if we can word that in a way that the general public will understand and will find interesting, obviously that's a great way to post. And then any relevant stories or testimonies that you think people would find interesting, let's post those as well. And then for those of you that are on the opposite side and you're like, I hate writing, I only want to do video, there's a little tool, I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it'll help you write anything that you need to. It's called ChatGPT. It's an AI model where if you want to write a specific email to somebody, you put in a little prompt, tell it kind of the tone you want, tell it what the purpose behind it is, and it'll give you a nice, I wouldn't go with whatever they give you because it could be a little cookie cutter here and there, but personalize it. It'll give you a good foundation to start off with. And if you're struggling to make videos and video ideas, that's the biggest thing that people come to me with is like, I want to make videos, but I don't know what to make the videos about. Go to ChatGPT, say, I'm a realtor, I want to make videos on luxury real estate, give me 10 ideas, and it'll give you 10 ideas. And then you can tell it to create a specific script for each of those videos. So it's a great tool that I use within my own business for sure, that I would recommend every agent to integrate because AI is the future, and any way we could find to integrate that and make our lives easier, the better. Let's talk analytics. So not only should your page be public, but it should be a business account so that you can track. If you have a regular personal account, you're not going to have analytics that show your accounts reach, accounts engaged, your accounts followed. So if you have the business or I believe there's a content creator option as well. I would just go with the business one. That's going to allow you to see different graphs. Let me see. Boom. It's going to allow you to see different graphs, different accounts reach. So accounts reach is going to be anybody who scrolled and came across one of your posts. Accounts engaged is going to be everybody who either liked, commented, shared, bookmarked, things of that nature. And then total followers is going to be how many followers you lost or gained throughout those posts, throughout that specific timeline. And you can change it for the past 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, things like that. So right here, this is right where I came into EGA and we started, changing our methods of posts and doing more video and things like that. And we have reached 11,000% more accounts compared to the last month. So the numbers don't lie. If you stay consistent and you work on video, you work on photos and things like that, it's going to be a gradual increase, but you'll see a difference for sure. It's still up and down for sure. The more consistent you are, the more of an upward trend you'll see. If you guys have any questions that we're not able to get to today, you always feel free to contact me. You can scan either QR code, and you can save my contact directly to your phone. Any questions about anything? We'll open it up.
Things to stay away from that you
Oh, okay.
posting?
I would.
Like,
Yeah, definitely don't post politics. I would say make sure whatever you're posting is, make sure you have a hook. I would say don't drone on and on. So we want to make sure our videos are at a max of a minute long, but really the sweet spot is around 30 seconds. because it's easy to make the video get long. I would say learn a little bit about lighting. You know, as long as you have one major light source in front of you, has you well lit, that's going to be a big difference in the quality of your video. Yeah, I would just say keep the videos valuable, short and concise, and good quality. No filters. That's a good one, actually. I would say.
Some people that use a ton of filters, I'm like, holy crap, that's you.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Is that a bad thing? So
Yeah.
you see a photo and, you know, and it's like from 30 years ago. Is that?
Yeah, so no filters for sure. I would say update your headshot minimum every 5 years.
There's a reason why we're offering free headshots, people.
So when did you take that headshot?
3 years ago, so I'm coming up soon.
Without braces?
Or no, 2 years ago.
Without
2 years ago.
braces.
Without braces, yeah. I'm gonna wait for them to come off in about a year or two, and then I'm gonna redo it.
So if you have a professional video and like how can you use it more than once, and how long between the time that you use it is it appropriate to use it again?
Are you saying short form or long form?
Like 30 seconds.
Yeah, so I would say I would not repost more than 3 months. I think once you start reposting stuff from a month ago, people are going to notice that a little bit. But it's definitely a good idea to repost certain things from the past because you've gained new followers since then. Certain people didn't see that post before. So it's not a bad idea to repost videos you've already done for sure. Another thing I didn't touch on is these long form videos. You can use them to create short form video as well. So this we're recording right now, we'll probably post the whole thing on YouTube, but we're also gonna take parts of it, shorten it, crop it for social media, and then repost that all over the place. So that's gonna be another big key to creating a high number of content.
Let's say you're a real estate agent that is just deathly afraid of social media and kind of struggles with social media, getting in front of the camera. How would you advise or recommend them to just start tapping into that realm and making themselves feel confident and seeing all these different professional videos from everywhere else, but they've kind of put themselves down a little bit because they don't look as professional as they like to look?
Yeah, that's definitely something that stops a lot of people from starting social media is just the fear of looking amateurish, the fear of not looking like a professional at all. It's gonna sound cliche, but just do it. Like the more you get out of your comfort zone, the better. There's no growth in the comfort zone at all. The only way to grow and take your business to the next level is to get out of that comfort zone and push yourself to do things you would never do. If you wanna get the same results, keep doing what you're doing. But if you wanna get to another level, if you see potential somewhere else, you gotta get out of your comfort zone and make it happen.
I think what happens is that we're just afraid to get those negative comments. We're afraid of what people are going to say. And even people that use professional videos are going to get those negative
Oh yeah.
So it's focusing on what your goal is, regardless of who those people are. But you know what? Those negative comments are going to attract more people to come to you. So it's, like I said, losing that fear, right?
Yeah.
If we have kids or whatever, we always push them not to have fear. But then we turn around and we don't do what we tell our kids to do or to what other people do. So at the end of the day, like you just said, just go out there, put it out there, whatever. The only thing you can do is get better from it.
100%.
Obviously, if they hire you, you know lighting, you have better
Right.
equipment to do it, but it's actually just doing it, putting it out there. And I've seen people that have started with just like video, and all of a sudden they've actually done it and they surpass what other people haven't done because they haven't even started. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, again, don't worry about what other people are saying.
Yep.
The ones that are gonna follow you, the ones that are gonna like your comments, that are gonna like your content, those are the ones you worry about. But just post it.
100%. I post some of my stuff on YouTube as well, my short form videos that you might see on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll get comments like, how are you gonna give social media advice with less than 100 subscribers? And then I'll click on his account and he got Fortnite videos on his page. So it's like, the people that are hating on you, they're not above you, they're not talking down on you. People just love to hate, you know, and there's nothing you can do to change that.
I've always said if somebody's not hating on you, you're not doing something right.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
But even another thing, if you're really afraid of people commenting on your stuff, on IG, you can turn off the comments on certain posts.
Yeah.
And then they're forced to reach out to you directly.
You
if
can,
they really
yeah.
wanna comment.
But you know what, negative marketing is sometimes more powerful than positive. Otherwise,
Engagement's
why would you have a
engagement.
reaction show if it was all positive?
Well, I think, sometimes they might actually give something valuable, like constructive criticism. Obviously, you prefer that to be in your DM than public for everybody to see. But if they say, why did you light your video that way? It's easy to be like, man, they're just a hater. But if they're like, I did light my video pretty bad, you can learn from that and adapt in the future. But social media is interesting because it's easier to take things to heart even though they're not saying it to your face. It's easier for people to talk trash to you without saying it to your face. And there's something about it that we feel like we're being judged more just because it's on the internet, where we see people and we interact face-to-face all the time. They're seeing the same thing that they see on the phone. It's just something about social media that we take it to heart and we feel like it's forever, when if you're going to be the same in person as you are on social media, what you should be authentic. Authenticity is going to beat everything else. You can, like we talked about before, you can rent the Lambo and be fake on IG and all that stuff. But if you're authentic, people are going to see that when they talk to you in person.
And it goes back down to, I know the communist said shutting it down. You could filter it out, but you have to be afraid of the no's. If you're afraid of the no's, then before it was not social media, before I don't want to go door knocking because I don't want to get doors slammed in my face. I don't want to make cold calls because people are going to be mad. Well, you're in a sales business. We're going to get no's.
Yep.
You're going to get turned down. But the more you get no's you're going to get that yes. So it's the same thing with social media, right?
Yep.
You're going to keep on posting. People are going to put comments, but at the end of the day, you're posting it so you can get people to come and send you messages, so they can send you that comment, so they can send you that direct message. So if you're making it hard for them to communicate with you, just why are we in the sales? We're salespeople.
Yep.
We're gonna get those rejections, and we have to be okay with that.
I wish Moses was here. Moses Herrera had a good point to this. He said, if you make 100 cold calls and 90 of them tell you to screw off, and you get 10 deals out of that, let's say your average commission check was $1,000 or whatever. You get paid. You have to think about it. You're getting paid to get no's. Every no you get is worth a certain dollar amount. And then when you get to those yeses, that makes it all worth it. Same thing with social media. You might get 10 people out of 100 of your posts that say this is dumb, or they don't even say anything, they just go past it. But if you get one deal from making 100 videos, which were free for you to make, that's a pretty good ROI if you ask me.
The reality is that with a business page, you can delete comments.
Yep.
You can delete this, and it's not like, it's not a permanent fixture there.
Exactly.
If you leave it but yeah, I get that at the restaurant all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Just haters.
Especially with the restaurant, I'm sure, yeah.
You're doing something right.
And one last thing I'll finish off with is post stuff. Even though people are not liking it, even though people are not commenting on it, all of a sudden you're gonna say, hey, by the way, and it just happened to me last week, and it's actually one of my dad's cousins, and it's like Rosie sent me. Rosie, what the hell is Rosie? I had to go on IG, put her like, oh, that's my aunt.
Yep. Yep.
But it's one of those where they're looking at everything you're doing.
Yep.
Even though they don't like your comment,
Yeah.
even though they don't leave a thumbprint, but if you keep on doing it, you're gonna get those calls, those easy calls. Because now, guess what? I'm not trying to convert someone. Now I'm setting up appointments to meet with the lender to do what we need to do. They want those come list. Those are the easiest ones. When you walk in, you say, sign. Do you want to go with? No, I trust you. Then sign a contract. I had a 1 minute contract once. They called me. I want to list my house. I walked in. I go, you want ready to sign? He said yes. I go. I was like, sure. He signed the contract, and at the end he goes, well, how much am I going to make at the end? Because he needed to sell, right? Because when you put out that contact, when you become a trustworthy person, when they come referred by somebody, it's even easier already. So
Yeah.
Again, just post it. Just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Post it, make the calls. And if you're a door knocker, just go out there.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, George hit it around the head.
Let's give Mo a round of applause.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Don't leave. So, I think one with this, you guys know I joke around a lot, but on a serious level, stepping out of your comfort zone, facing your fears, I know it's tough. I know it's tough, and I come with certain bravado and all that, but just keeping it real, everybody feels fear. Everybody has apprehension, but here's the thing. I've always said, where's E? What's the richest place on earth?
The cemetery.
It's a cemetery, man. So many people have left this earth without launching their restaurant, without launching their literary work, without their invention, et cetera, right? So stepping out of your comfort zone and trying to leave that legacy is super important. When's it gonna happen if it doesn't happen today? Right, and the second thing is we've raised some amazing kids. They're gonna emulate what they see. If they see you as a risk taker, if they see you have integrity, if they see you with a humble approach to business and really caring about your clients, you should fall in love with your clients because they will know. And they'll know if it's commission breath versus if you sincerely care about them. All right, so for those that are doing it, kudos. If you haven't done it yet, that's why we're kind of like, I grew up in an era where they're gonna teach you how to swim, they just kind of push you in the pool, and then they're not gonna let you drown, but you think you're gonna drown, but then you learn how to swim. Okay, so I know sometimes it doesn't work with this generation, but thanks to Mo, I say things my way, he interprets it, he puts it up there, and it resonates with people. So thanks again for coming, thanks to our special guest, and thanks to our partners. Give yourselves a round of applause as well.
Thank you, guys.